Get the money, honey. 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 Round of applause. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Christina L Turner, Kingmaker. I am so excited that everyone is doing good this year. I'm going to start putting this on record so I can record it. And we are live on YouTube and also on here on Zoom. I have Atia Bad here, Coach Lakaya, and then also who else is on here? Because I see a number but not the name. Who else is on here? You guys can go in and unmute yourselves a little bit so we can do an intro, but I do have someone with the number of 832-745-1225. Okay, so I don't know who you are. Can you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Mona Lisa.
Oh, Mona Lisa. Hey, how are you? So nobody's not showing their face today?
I
would show my face, but the way my scarf is set up.
Really, Atia? That
Hello, ladies. Hi, everybody.
The Coach Lakaya is on here. I'm waiting for Coach Keisha. She should be coming in, but I'm going to get started. I'm so happy that those of you that came in, I'm very excited. This is going to be a group. This is going to be fun. I'm expecting to be fun. It's going to be informative. We're going to not just get the information that I have for you for funding, because there's some new stuff that just came out that just opened today, this morning at 6 o'clock this morning. So I have information for that. And I have a couple of other funding avenues for your business in regard to grants. So let me get started. My name is Christina L Turner, Kingmaker. This is my webinar. We do business talk on this webinar. I also do one-on-one coaching. I shouldn't say coaching, consulting. I always get those two mixed up. Consulting with entrepreneurs. So if you are in your startup stage or in business for 3 years, come see me. It's free, 1 hour. I do it each Tuesday. This time we did something a little bit different because being considerate of everyone's schedule during the day. And we're ending this year, and this is the holiday season. So let's get into it in regard to what's happening in the business world for finances. So number one is, this is really great. This is the one that was launched today. It is called Reimagine. All right. It's through Reimagine. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on, y'all. Yeah, next week I'll turn another age, and now the words are seen to run together. The Reimagine Main Street is for Black businesses specifically. Coach Keisha's just coming in. It's for Black business specifically. It started this morning, and this morning it's going to be open until December the 15th. So if you, because this is new, that I'm giving it to you, I would say when we get done, apply. They're only going to be giving out 200 awards, so they say. I don't know. They may close it tonight because of the influx of people, because sometimes, I know I'm not the only person who is giving out this information, and sometimes by the time you get to it, is already closed because they had an influx. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link, and those of you that's on here, I'm gonna also send it to you in your email, the link to this, and I'm gonna do it tonight. Like soon as we get done, it's gonna be like boom, 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 boom. Okay, and so this is the application open today, and it closes on the 15th. They're not gonna announce the winners until February of 2022. Okay, so just not a quick fix. Also, there's another one. It's the Amazon. I'm not sure if anybody heard of this. It's the Amazon Black Business Accelerator. Now they're giving financial assistance in these increments. You get $500 worth of credit to assist with the startup or operational costs for newly launched sellers. $400 you'll get for and sponsored products. So let's say if you want to do merchandise, so you're going to get $400 of merchandise. And then they're going to give free imaging services for up to 50 products to help showcase your product. So that's through Amazon. The assets you need to have, they need to have assets. They'll give you like a year of a minimum year of strategic advisory services for coaching and training, insights that will, and this is free stuff. So insight to take your business to the next level. Then you're going to also get access to free education resources. And then you have an opportunity to join the BBA Connect. It's a 12-month program, which is going to provide you with guidance, education, and community needed to help you thrive as an entrepreneur. So they're also going to be giving you some marketing and promotional support for your business as well. So this is another one. I did not find a date when this is open. When it closes, but it is available right now. And I will put the link in the bio. And for those of you that's on here, I'll send it to your email so you don't have to come back onto the YouTube channel and you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to go and look for it. And there is another one called Miss Denise. Miss Denise, and Miss Denise has a grant for women. Hello, Miss Denise has a grant for women. It's called Accelerate Success Small Business Grant. Okay, the Accelerate, and it's for women. It's strictly for for women. It didn't say Black women. But with this grant, yes, for minority women entrepreneurs. So they're going to be given $2,500, okay, to work for any eligible minority woman entrepreneur every quarter. So this is available right now. If you need equipment, office space, or tools to help streamline your operations. They want to know if you have a new product or a new service, marketing campaign to help triple your sales. So it's a $10,000 big giveaway. I will also put that in the link for women who are in business. And these, I was thinking that there was going to be any more money for entrepreneurs and right now. We also need to be mindful too that the EIDL, I'm not talking about the EIDL Accelerator program for like if you lived in a particular area. If you haven't applied for the EIDL, I would still apply. The SBA still have a lot of money and you got to get it in before December 31st. If you've already applied, because I did it as a test, I always got to test something first. I did it as a test to see if I did another application, because of course I've been waiting for one of my businesses to get some type of response from the SBA. And when I did a whole new application, right? So I did a whole new application, and what ended up happening was they sent me a note, so you already have an application on file. So I'm like, well, you take it too long. You take it too long when it comes to these businesses. But one thing that I do know is that they are considerably they're backed up. So it doesn't matter. My thing is apply for the services. Okay, apply for the services because you don't know, you may get it. If I get anything else between, because this is going to be the very last, my last video, my last Get the Money Honey webinar, my business talk, this is going to be the last one for this year, because I am trying to put together. We're working on putting things together in order so things could be a little bit better. So now we done moved on to the financial aspect of what's available to you. Let's talk about business. What's going on? Who's going to start first? Like in regard to what happened, post when they started releasing everything. What was it? The month of June, right? When they started slowly opening everything up in the month of June. So about 6 months ago. And when it came to entrepreneurs, I just want to, get some feedback. I know you guys had some consulting services with me here on the platform, and then we kind of like talked and off the platform, and I sent some of you some things, like if you ask, I'll send it. So who wants to go first? Let's talk about it. And let's talk about the challenges from the last 6 months since we've been open since March of 2020. Because actually, yeah, we've only been open for like 6 months, some of the businesses. So who's going first?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and say the clientele, since everything has happened, has kind of gone down for me.
Okay.
I want to do something different with my marketing, but as far as currently, right now, I'm in the process with the SBA. You had, helped me move forward with that, so I'm waiting to hear back from them right now.
Okay. So clientele, who else?
Yeah.
Coach Keisha, Coach Lakaya, Mona Lisa.
I don't mind going next. Can you repeat the question, please?
The question was, since we have been open for the last 6 months, and because they opened up everything in June of 2020. And so the last 6 months, how has it been in regard to your business? What's been going on? Tia said that it was, she had clientele.
Well, I think for me, like, I'm a new business. I've only been in business for a year. So I'm still building my brand, building my business. And I think like with everything being closed up, just getting the exposure out, everything is like on social media, but it's like everybody is starting a business. So it's kind of hard to stand out when you're brand new. So I think that's the hardest thing like that I've noticed. It's just like, how do you stand out, and how do you compare to other people who've been doing this for a while? How do you gain trust to even get new buyers?
Yeah. One of the things that I think a couple of suggestions that I had made with I think when I was speaking with Coach Keisha was that you guys can do. I'm horrible with social media. And I need to really stop saying that, because I'm literally like putting it into existence as far as me saying that I'm horrible, that I end up being horrible with it. But I'm not, the only way that I can say, the more that people see you on a regular basis, and what I mean by seeing, someone said this to me, and I think it was you, Atia. It was you can post your information, like we do like the special sayings, the words of encouragement, things like that. But I think too, people want to see you, like your face, like hear your voice, see your face, what are you about, versus we're constantly pushing advertising. And I'm thinking that may be a way that's different, because I've had some big challenges with my businesses across the board. With every business I've had has been challenged. So I do get what you're saying, Lakai. I don't really think that it has to do if you're new or you've been in business as long as, even as I have, or that in between. What I have found out too, is that the marketplace, they are fickle. It's like everybody is after like the whole, I like to use the expression squirrel, you know, and the dog start running over to that way, then it could be another squirrel, then he'll run over to that way. Everything is it's moving so fast. Everything is moving so fast. Everybody's putting out so much stuff, and people are doing things for likes and for, you know, I'm not a big you know, comedy kind of girl, you know, that kind of thing, you know, I'm always serious and I'm trying to navigate myself to get out of that. So yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, you know, like how do you build trust? And I think them seeing you talking, you know, instead of just writing it, have them talk, it's either an emotional, they have to connect with you emotionally to find to keep them engaged. You understand what I'm saying? So what's going on with you, Mona Lisa? Because and then too, we're gonna introduce so people can know who you are, what you do, and you know, we're gonna do that. So what's happening with you, Mona Lisa? We haven't spoken in a minute. So what's going on?
I think it's just that I stopped advertising the products. The sales went down, but I think it was mostly me that I started just working on other projects and kind of put this business, just assumed that it would just flourish on its own, and it didn't. So it's really just me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Coach Keisha.
Hey, Christina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, so my challenge, I would say my biggest challenge would be finances. I have no problem with social media. I don't even believe that I have a problem with the clientele. I think it's just finances to be able to produce the products that I want to produce to my clients. And most most of the loans and, you know, grants and things like that, not all of them, but most of them are going off of business credit and just credit period. And I was advised to lock my personal credit. But even my business credit is kind of weak right now because, like Lakaya said, I am fairly new, a little over a year in. And so building business credit was not it was not a priority because one, you know, as a new business owner, there's just certain things you don't know. I'm not going to be embarrassed or ashamed to say, but I didn't know, you know, about business credit until maybe the last 6 months. And that was just through a Facebook group and then Christina conversations that you and I had. But prior to that, I didn't know anything about it. So it was not a priority, nor was it something that I had and was trying to establish. And then the minute that I tried to establish it, like you say, we ran into this pandemic and I got furloughed on my job. So, you know, the little credit I had was not able to maintain it because of finances. And so now I'm trying to get grants and loans and, you know, and money, you know, and that's just been an issue with me. That has really been a struggle for me, personally. So that would be my biggest thing right now.
Okay, so with business credit, did I not give you my ebook, my free ebook on business credit? I sent it. I think everybody should have. Anyone did I? If I didn't, it probably was an oversight. If you need it, please tell me that you need it because I literally wrote a ebook on business credit that I actually was giving away for free. I did it like last year. One of the things that you can start off doing that's really, really simple on in regard to business credit, get a gas card and with your EIN number. Start there because you want to start something low. Then you want to do and Quill, there's so many other different net 30 accounts. You want to at least have 5 of those. Okay. So you want to start with those 5 net 30 accounts. Now, you can add, if you've already have received like the PPP or the EIDL, you can add that to your business credit. You can add that. And so that makes it also look good for your business. And I'm talking about the ones that's gotten. I'm not talking about because I know two of you haven't received it because you are new businesses. So if you haven't received if you haven't received my ebook, I'll send it to you. It's in a PDF. And if you have received it and you don't remember, I'll still send it to you again. I'll send it to everybody again. And it's a step-by-step, 13 steps on how to obtain business credit.
Can you send
Okay.
info on how to add the PPP to the business credit?
Yes, I'll add that. Now, when I send you what you're going to do, I can tell you that right now. What you're going to do is, I'm not sure if any of you have a DUNS number yet. And I think I spoke to everyone, making sure that everyone acquire a DUNS number. Okay. And then you need to sign up with NAV, N-A-V. Okay. You sign up with NAV for your business. Those are the people that monitors the business credit, and you can upload that through the NAV. NAV have a way, and I'll send it to you. I probably won't send that to you tonight, but I will definitely send it to you so that you can so that you'll be able to load that up. Yes, Coach Lakaya.
Yes, I just have a question. So with the business credit, because I don't know this, with the business credit, is it connected to your personal credit? Because me and my husband are getting ready to get a house. So I just don't need anything like interfering with that.
No. See, with your business credit, when you're doing business credit, you are using your business EIN number. If you're a registered LLC, which I'm sure everybody on here is, okay, yeah, because I did all of everybody's an LLC. So it goes strictly for your business. That's what helps you with business credit as well, being an LLC. You also, so no, it should not have anything to do with your personal credit if you are not using your Social Security number. Do not use your Social Security number to obtain business credit. You don't need your Social Security number to get certain Net 30 accounts like Quill and Granger, and like what you want to do is you want to order it is really listen, I was a little upset, okay, when I ordered some paper towels from Quill, and it was just to build the credit, and it's like twice as much, the cost is twice as much, but when you look on the back end of it, it's the ending result is I got credit, and it's on my business credit report. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna, like I said, I'll send the ebook to everyone again so that you can have it, because I know like next year I'm not going to give out any free ebook again, because of the fact it's going to be going into the bigger financial book on adding it for business credit. Yeah. So what else? I have a question, Mona Lisa. What did you get discouraged with your business? Why you just like kind of because I felt discouraged. I got discouraged. I'm discouraged right now. Okay. Truth be told, I was speaking with one of my vendors today, coming in because I literally just got home before I got on. And I was telling her that, you know, pre-pandemic, I was used to people writing me $30,000, $50,000, $20,000 checks, $15,000 checks just for my services. Now I have people who want to do, have these beautiful, these luxury weddings, and they want all of this flowers. They want everything for little to nothing, for 3,000, 10,000. I'm like, I was doing that in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like my business, specifically my wedding event planning company, which is my longest standing business of 28 years. I literally was flying in today and I was like, do I still want to keep this business open? Because I have poured so much, financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally into my business that I was thinking, do I just close up shop or do I take another approach and try to figure out, in regard to how I'm going to, pivot, how I'm going to turn it around. Is there something else that I can do differently when I love designing? That I love doing it, but I also have to be, and what I'm saying is not being so hard on myself. And I don't think, you, Mona Lisa, not being, like you just look like, I really could have done better. I think too, subconsciously, I think with the pandemic and everything, I kind of laid back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't as aggressive. So I can relate to what you're saying. I really wasn't as aggressive. I was paying for a lot of services. Atia and I, we work on a couple of projects together. And Atia was like, girl, you really do invest in your business. Like I invest in my businesses. Like my business, if they're like kids,
And that's what I want to be able to do one day, is have the money like that to be able to put into the business. I don't know who said it, but she was saying that she has to have the money to be able to buy the product,
Right.
So.
Yeah. Coach Keisha was saying that, and it's kind of, I don't know what the easy fix is. I don't have an easy fix. One thing I do know this, I'm reading a book about business, and I'm also reading a book on psychology in regard to business. And one of the things that I learned is that, which I read in this chapter today while I was flying in, is that we have everything in place, and sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the outside influences that have to do with everything on the inside. Our subconscious, you know what I'm saying? That we have like these starting points, even though we feel gung-ho about having these businesses when we first started these businesses, when we get into the business and we're navigating, we feel like we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing, but subconsciously, do we really feel like, sometimes if it's worth it? And I had this friend who would say, it's almost like you're asking God for a prayer, right? You pray to God, okay, I want this to happen, you believe, and then you change your mind. And then it's like she said, what happens is just like it stops the angels from moving, so it delays everything. And then too, we have those other outside influences of people that we're connected to, or even how we raised, how was people, normally, like my dad is, everybody in our family got college degrees, right? So the key thing was you go to college, you work in your degree, and you work in your degree for 20 years. Well, that's not everybody's call. You follow the paradigm that is, nationally, so you can quote unquote feel secure. But we also know too that even all these college education that we could get, masters and stuff, you got people that with masters is working at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? To make ends meet, because a lot of companies close. So that's not a guarantee. So what is it that, going back to Mona Lisa, what is it that you felt that that you wasn't going as hard, like, that you normally would do, because you have an awesome product? And matter of fact, tell people, tell us exactly what you do. Tell them the name of your business and everything that you do.
I just started working on a different business. That's all. I got distracted and started working on a moving company that I started. And when I went live with it, it just started. The job requests started coming in faster than I expected, and it required a lot of hands-on working for me. It was the mission was more so online from my computer, marketing on social media, and then the moving company required me to show up to different job sites, help out sometimes when some of the employees weren't going into work and stuff like that. So I didn't necessarily stop loving it or lose my thrill. I just more so got distracted and had to do something else more hands-on.
So do you so do you see yourself still doing what you were doing before, or this new venture that you started, this is like your big thing?
I still do them both. The orders still came in. They just start coming in slower. Periodically, I find some time or a day when I'm not out on the grounds or out on site, I create information. I make a post or so. I launched or I went live with a 20% off sale about a week ago for the first business, and I'm leaving it running through Christmas. And so once I went live with that and made some posts and things like that on social media, the sales immediately started coming in. But that's why I said I feel like it's more so me. I went, basically dark, so the customers kind of went dark as well.
Okay. See, that's I have to hire somebody to do that for me, to do the marketing piece, the posting and all that stuff like that, because my mind is everywhere and it's not stable on one particular business, especially when it comes to social media. So you found out that, so then now you have two businesses. Congratulations, round of applause on that. And so do you think that you're going to maybe have someone to do your content for you? Because springtime is coming, and normally a lot of people move in the spring and to the summer. It kind of slows down a little bit during the winter months. Like I think like after October, because I think people want to be like nesting like during the holiday season. They kind of like want to be in their own house by Thanksgiving or Christmas. So what do you see going on for you for 2022?
Yeah, that has happened. The moving has definitely slowed down, and so since then, I've been back on my computer more, working on marketing for both businesses, getting more employees for the moving company, but also doing more marketing for the mission. And as far as social media is concerned, I have been teaching my daughter how to post and create things like that using the different websites that I've used for all my creativity, and also been teaching her entering all my numbers with all these invoices that I have here in Wave. Just kind of, she's the person that I'm kind of pushing most of the information on and the training. So she's not a social media savvy person either. She doesn't use social media. She doesn't have any sites or anything. So it's all really new to her, but she grasps it fast. So I'm hoping to get her completely trained by the time everything starts to pick up.
So question,
that's the plan.
That's awesome. Yeah, use in your house, because you can write that off in your taxes. You know that, right? You can write you can write her off her as an employee on your taxes. So just you can pay them up to like $600. Yeah, and write that off. So that's another write-off for you. Now, this is a question that what's the name of your second business?
It's on the Go Movers.
I love it. Good. So what made you decide that you want to get into doing the moving?
The idea was presented to me by someone else, that they were thinking about it. I'm just more of an action person than a doer. And so once I tested it out and saw that it actually worked, then I just kind of went in head first.
Awesome. That was smart. So can you give the rest of the group some of the things like in regard to product? Because I know that you're I know Atia does product. I think Coach Keisha, she has some product service, and so does Coach Lakaya. And since it was a money situation, um, when you're in that tight place, what can they do? Tell them what are some other avenues that they can do? How did you reinvest into your business on a tight budget?
I don't think that I think that when I did have money, I invested a lot in products and things like that. So I have a lot of things that I have not launched, and I have a lot of products that I have not posted to the website. And so as I find the time, I constantly, put those things together, do some test trials, photos, things like that, get information and add it to the website slowly. I don't have a whole lot of funding, but I try to make sure that whatever I spend on the business comes from the business. I don't have an actual job. I quit working. I quit working.
Okay.
So these businesses is pretty much all that I have. Like I said, the moving company, it just kind of took off really fast. So I put a lot of energy into it. And then now that it's slowed down, all the products that I had already for the mission, I'm kind of putting them all together. Bought a whole bunch of herbs and things like that I would have planned to put together a line of teas on the website. So now that I found the time putting that together, also teaching my daughter processing and things like that for tea and measurements and stuff like that. So I did have funding at one point, and I did have money and a job at one point. So during that time, I bought a whole bunch of things. So now at this point, I'm just kind of trying to put it all together and make money from it. And then once that money comes in, like I said, the plan is for me to just use the money from the business to fund the business. It may not seem like I'm making a bunch of revenue in the beginning, but most importantly to me, I want to build something that grows. So if I have to sacrifice, my pay or my revenue, just trying to build, add product and marketing, stuff like that, then I'm working on that first. And I assume later down the line in life, then I'll be, at a place where I'm making a lot of profit.
Okay. So Atia, did that help you a little bit? What Mona Lisa was saying in regard, did it help any of you a little bit in regard to what she was stating and how she's navigating her both of her businesses? And one of the things that's really, really smart, that's how I got into doing creating C Turner tax services, because during the winter months, the weddings and events, like after the holiday, like after January the 1st, it got really, really quiet. And I still wanted to have a constant flow of income, which is why I started my second business, my tax business, which is now, with business services, and we do all this other stuff that goes with it, so that I could continue to have a flow, because tax season is only quarterly, right? And so I'm talking about the heat of it, because you still have businesses that have to do other things and da 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 da. And yeah, that was really smart. That's smart how you did that. So when it starts picking up again in the spring, by then you'll kind of like have developed like some kind of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like I like if I had a wedding in the spring, like March or April, whatever, I knew not to schedule so many weddings in that month or so many events in those 2 months, because of the fact those are like the highlight times of the taxes, is normally at the end, going towards April, and then the beginning, like January, February is like really like the high time of tax season, so that we constantly have a a consistent flow, which is trying to get back into that consistent flow again. So what are you looking forward to for the 22-year Coach Lakaya?
I'm looking forward to, well, let me tell everybody what my business is. My business is Total Body Self-Care. I create self-care boxes for women. So I would really like to be able to get up to 200 subscribers in my business. And I started one-on-one coaching, and the one-on-one coaching, I created a program I created 2 programs. One is called Journey to Self-Care, and the second program is called Getting Back to Me. So I would like to eventually turn it into a group coaching program, but I'm in the beta phase. So I'm trying to see what works and what doesn't work. So those are the things I have for 2022, the subscription box and the 2 programs.
So can you explain what's in the subscription box? Do they change quarterly, or is it are they all different?
So the subscription box, originally it was supposed to be quarterly, but when people started receiving the boxes, they told me if they wanted more of the boxes. So I really want to do monthly. So like I have a box out now, and each box comes with 10 items. I can tell you what's in. The box is called the Queen's Edition Self-Care Boxes. And the current box that I have out now, it has an 8-ounce candle. It has a bath tea with a scooper. It has a eye mask. It has a sweet treat in the box, a bubble scoop, which is a bubble bath, a spa headband, a pair of dangle earrings, a spa facial mask, a self-care card, and aromatherapy shower steamer.
Well, why I didn't get the link? Why I didn't get the link? You know I love pampering myself. Wait a minute, girl, and I could have.
Yeah, she need to go in and drop that link.
Okay, girl, you need. Wait a minute. Why I didn't get the link?
I'll send it to you right now. I'll put it in the chat.
Yes, you gotta put it in the chat, girl. We need listen. Look, in these times, we need a lot of love.
And
okay?
so since I'm figuring things out. So the box, I normally have the box. Well, when I first did the box was $50, and then I charged for shipping. But then people tried to get over with shipping because I do have the option to pick up. So then I added the price of the shipping with the box. So this time when I did the box, I actually changed the price to $30 plus $9 for shipping. So this box is $39. And I did that because I wanted to see how people would react to getting the different products, because the last boxes had like full-size products, but even though people said they loved the box, they weren't finishing the product. So if you have all these products left over, that's not serving you, that's not doing you any justice. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way to sell the boxes so people can really get the most out of it.
Okay, who want to chime in? But before I chime in for that one, girl, you know you a sight for sore eyes, Miss Girl. Listen, I'm already. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. You know, I went like. Eyes lit up. We gonna get to you in a minute, but I had to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait till you guys find out who this special lady is. Oh my goodness, I love her to pieces. Oh my goodness, you were on my team like 2010 when I first got to Houston. Oh my goodness. Okay, so getting back to Coach Lakaya, look, girl, you got a girl. Where is the link? Because girl, listen, I would be trying to get in the bubble bath and be holding up your little sign, trying to cover myself up with bubbles or something. You gotta put that link out. Listen, this is the thing. One of the things that you have a subscription and all the people that you have links that you have their emails to, you need to be sending. I should be getting emails I really should be getting emails on all your specialties and stuff like that. I do have an email list, and I do recommend people to other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that this is what because every last person that's here on this platform right now, everybody has something to help somebody else. Everybody, all these pieces are connected. Okay, so even though I've done consultations with you, Coach Lakaya, Atia Bad is good with marketing and stuff like that. Same thing with Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa was just saying how she's getting. I need y'all links. So Mona Lisa, you know we had talked about doing some things, and I know you on a whole nother thing, and then I had to stop thinking that. Matter of fact, I took my whole website down for my skincare. Like there is no product on there. We took all the product off. But Coach Lakaya, your stuff is the bomb. And I want some. I want to buy some. I want to invest. Yes, Coach Keisha, your hands up.
So, me, Kai, we talk often, and I wanted to answer the question, how can I, service my clients better if the products that they're not using all of the products that's in the box. And so what I was going to suggest, because I think I bought 2 boxes from you, Kai, and one, there was some cookies in there, and I don't like cookies. I ended up giving them to my husband, but my suggestion would be is if you could just make up a couple of boxes, and then let people decide which box they want instead of just having one box with all of those good things in them. Maybe just break that one box down into 3 different boxes, and then so in this box you can get cookies, mug, and socks. This box you can get earrings, whatever. That way people can choose based off of what they like and what they want out of the box. Hopefully it would be the box with all of the things that they want. You're not going to be able to satisfy everybody, but because if you had a box without the cookies, with everything else, I would have gotten that other box without the cookies. So maybe giving people an option, maybe just having 2 to 3 different boxes instead of just the one with so much in it, and just break it down and let them choose which box serves them best. That was just a suggestion when you asked the question, how do you service, how could you service your clients if they're not using all of the products? Give them products that they want in boxes that they want.
That's a good idea. The only thing with that is that when you have 3 different boxes, you got to have those products. So it's kind of hard. Like if I'm supplying all the products with the money that I have, I can't really afford to buy. So if I do 50 boxes, and I have 3, so now I'm going from 50 boxes to 150 boxes because I have 50 different boxes. I have 3 different boxes. And right now, I just don't have the money for that. Because my husband, he's told me that before, like have custom boxes. I would love to. I just don't have the money to do that.
Okay. So,
is your business online? Like,
is it online? So I do have
like 5 to 7 days, 7 to 10 days, something like that. Do you have that in place?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the last part.
Do you have like a shipping time frame, like a 5 to 7 days?
So as soon as someone places an order, the box is already made up. So as soon as someone places an order, depending on what time they order, they go out the next day. But if it's late and I don't get the order, then it'll go out the following day. So the shipping time is, from what I've noticed, it's been between 2 days. Like if you're in Georgia where I am, you'll get your box within 2 days. And like the longest I've seen so far is like 5 days. So it's like 2 to 5 days, just depending on where it's being shipped to.
So what I did, on my website, it started off really, really short like that, 2, 3 to 4 days, something short. And then I realized that I needed to give myself more time for preparation, shipping, as far as like supplies or anything to that regard. So I started to change the time that I was listing from, it was 3 days, and it went to 5 to 7. Then I changed it to 7 to 10 during the pandemic because a lot of the supplies started coming slow. But what I also do is because I make a capsule, and I find myself making all these capsules, trying to be, pre-ready so when the orders came in, but then they were ordering a different capsule, and I have three different capsules that I sell. It's like you use all your products on that one capsule because you prepared it. But if you give yourself a longer time frame for shipping, then it gives you the time to prepare per order versus wasting supplies on orders that are just kind of sitting. Then you have them, the supplies ready to go. So if a box come in, you don't have the box already made, and you still have the supplies, so you can put in that box what that particular customer wants. If it takes you 2 days, 3 days, or if you have to order that particular thing, let's say you don't have it, you don't have, or you need to, I don't know how to cook, what the cookies are like if you're making them from scratch or something like that, but it also gives you time to make that particular cookie for, the boxes versus just having them all in a box already go. Then you're out of boxes and you're out of packaging. Like if you're sliding the cookies into like a cookie pack or something like that, you're out of packaging and you need more packages because now you got all these pre-made boxes that nobody's ordering versus preparing per order. As the order come in, then you have this, 7 to 10 days, 5 to 7 days, whatever you give yourself to get for that particular box. And if you list it on your website, they already know in their mind, okay, 5 to 7 days for preparation because I prepare to order. And I say that on the website too, that I prepare each of your products to order. Everything's completely fresh, nothing's sitting, and it's going to come when it goes out, it's just been made. And you don't waste your products, because I was finding myself running out of vegan capsules to put, a bladder sea moss combination in a capsule, because now I got 100 bags over here that I already pre-made, and they only have sea moss and no bladder type situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I also just to that was awesome. Yeah, that was really, really good too, that made to order. But I also like what Coach Keisha said too, like all of your product in one box, you have like so much. I would break it down and divide it up. Like maybe they get 3 products here, 3 here, because I don't know how many products, because it seemed like you had a lot. Like after 3, all it was here, and I have this, and I have this, I have that. So if you, let's say for instance, you got 7 products in your box, like you got 7 or 8 products, I will split that in half. And still, maybe instead of them having a $50 box for all of that, I will make that like for $35 for 3, for 3 of the products, and then add the cookie or a piece of candy or chocolate, whatever you want to put in there. And then that means too, you're making more money far as you just having one box with 8 products in it for $50. Now you done divide it in 2, and you could sell those 2 each, one for $35 and one for, if they have an extra product, one for $45. So now you really done made a little bit more money, and you done made like $90 off of that one big box that you normally would do for $50. Now you just added on additional $45. You see what I'm saying?
I do, but the only thing with that is like, how do you compare with somebody that's in the same industry? Like it's a lot of people that they have self-care boxes, and they have boxes that's I'll just say 7 products for $30. So how do you compare with that? If I'm only doing 3 products for $30, but you got somebody doing 7 products for $30, then how do I stand out? So a customer will want business from me versus someone else.
Okay, so now you're asking the same thing as if you were buying the Portrait of a Lady fragrance versus Marc Jacobs. That's totally 2 different types of fragrances. They both would seem like they're both luxury brand, but Portrait of a Lady is going to cost you $450 versus if you're going to get a Marc Jacobs, which is a nice high-end brand, for $125. how it's all in presentation on how the packaging. Somebody sent me like when I was trying to working on like developing my candles and stuff for my wedding planning, because I'm moving into the product thing. So this is really, really good. Y'all really helping the sister out. Moving into the product thing, and when they sent me the box of the different types, you know, you get the candles, you can either have the candles, you can have like the spray or the stick, but how they wrapped it up together, the box itself, I was more intrigued with how it was packaged together. When I went and I got some shoes made and how they had the bow, the ribbons on it. Now I could have went and got some Gillespie shoes or whatever, but I wanted custom shoes the way that I wanted them to look. And the packaging was still like the same, but the price point was different. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like maybe how you package it, how you sell it, it's all in presentation. Everything, because we know that Marc Jacobs and I'm trying to remember. I have to go in the room to find out the name of the Portrait of the Lady, the guy who's the maker, the fashion designer. The Portrait of the Lady is a beautiful fragrance, beautiful, but how they sell it, that price point, then you know that so many people are not going to buy that because of the price point. Whereas people be like, oh, I could get that, but how are you comparing to other people? Because are you trying to keep up with them, or are you trying to set a standard, a brand for who you are and what you do that's separated? Like what makes your bubble bath a little bit much luxurious than somebody buying bubble bath from Victoria's Secrets? You know what I'm saying? What makes it, how are you selling it? It's all in presentation. You can sell water to an Eskimo and to an Indian, but how you present it, the Indian may pay more than the Eskimo. It's all in presentation.
That makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to, you don't, sometimes when we're competing, when we're in this thing of competition with other brands, we get lost in translation on what is our mission for our business. Okay. There's no other Coach Lakaya. There's no other coach. Even though you and Coach Keisha, y'all talk to each other often, but y'all totally two separate entities. There's no other Coach Keisha. There's no other Atia Bad. There's no other Mona Lisa or Miss Roy. There's no other Christina L Turner Kingmaker. Nobody can, you know how many business consultants there's out there? There's so many, everybody and their mama is a business consultant. When Miss Roy and I, when we teamed up, when I came out with Connecting Fashion Worlds, nobody was doing fashion shows except for Jared, except for fashion, what was it, iFashion. Then I came in, I'm the third biggest, big conglomerate that came in and started doing fashion shows, right? Then everybody and their mama wanted to do fashion shows. That's just how it is. And so what was different from my fashion shows versus everybody else? If I focus on everyone else who was doing fashion shows, we would have never had any shows. We would have never had sponsors like Fiat and Vitamin Water and Skinny Girl and all that. So we would have never had that. It's all about presentation. It's how we presented the fashion show that we had the Fiat logo. We had all of those, and we had top tier vendors that came in. So my fashion show, everybody's still walking down the runway. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have a big production like Danny Wynn. You see what I'm saying? But we had sponsors that Danny Wynn didn't have. It was all in how I presented, how I packaged it, and now here we are. You see, you understand? And models got paid. Not selling tickets to get paid. They literally got paid. So I just ran into one of the models when I was in Houston the other day, and she was like, we wish you come back because we not getting paid. So I'm saying that for you, Coach Lakaya, that you're an original. It's all about how you want to sell it. And one thing Atia Bad was saying to me, she was like, girl, we could do this, whatever. You want to find somebody that's going to be also your cheerleader for your product. Okay, what people would say, would they have your influencer? Ain't nobody got time. You just need somebody with a sanguine. That means really, really outgoing, a sanguine personality that be like, girl, yes, and I got these braces in, or I got this box, and I use this cream on my face or my neck. Look at that glow. Look at that glow. And that person who's a sanguine or who has that really outgoing personality, you could how you pay to be like, girl, I'll give you a percentage. If my sales go up, I could give you a percentage. And that's how you pay people. That's how you move people. I've always believed that a workman is worthy of their hire. That's one of the ways that I pay people. Me and Tia, we work together on certain things. If I say, okay, Tia, if you do this for me, I'm going to do this. And she'll say, okay, Christina, if you do this, we do this. We switch and we try to even though you don't have the financial resource, we know that we are in a quandrum when it comes to
barter and trade system.
Yes, the barter and trade system. So get somebody out there that knows who's not shy with presenting your luxury product, because it's luxury. Okay.
A promoter, a good promoter.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Keisha, thank you for the suggestion. When I get the money, because it's coming, we'll be able to offer 3 different boxes.
And I'll be the one that be on there talking about some, yes, y'all, I use Lakaya's soap and honey, child. It got my skin feeling like baby bottom.
So we go. So I want to get Miss Roy, girl, come on in the room. Come in the room. Please tell people who you are, what you do.
Hello. I'm sorry I look like this, but this is what 2021 looks like after such a long and busy year. Like, it just looks like this.
Yes.
I don't know how to say it.
You're still beautiful.
But my name is Tasha. I go by Miss Riot. I do photography and video production. I've been doing it for, I want to say, almost 10 years. I just got good like 2 years ago. She mentioned, because she called me by accident today. And she said, what we're going to say is what we should have done differently this year. Me, it's a lot of things I would have done differently. I want to say really sticking to what I needed to do. Like, I had a whole list of everything I needed to do, but I was like, yeah, I need to do that and then move along and go somewhere else. Probably because it was a lot of imposter syndrome. Like, it's too big for me, so I'm not going to do it. I'll just wait a little bit longer. And a lot of that stuff, that's exactly what happened. But but a lot of it happened later on in the year because the imposter syndrome got a little weak to where, okay, now I have more of a buildup to where, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do it. But I just wish that I could have done it sooner in the year versus later in the year, because I think the outcome would have been a little bit better.
Okay, well, I've heard of the imposter syndrome. I wasn't clear because let me tell you, I'm a comedian in my head. Okay, when I think of imposter syndrome, I be thinking people be dressing up like other characters, like they're pretending to be someone, like the friend, she be having on this fur coat.
You right on it. That's kind of sort of what it is when it comes to that, because it's like, and I had it recently when I walked in a room. It was a wedding conference that me and my best friend went to, in Vegas. And so I walked in to her saying, okay, this is one of the biggest Atlanta wedding coordinators there is, and her friends and whatever. So I'm walking to the table and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm here. I'm looking, I feel like I look crazy because she just stood up here and said, oh, this is this person. And I'm walking to the table. I'm like, knowingly that my energy and my personality sells me on everything.
Yeah.
We walked away. What was that? I said, listen. Did I say I barely said anything? I barely said anything. I said I really felt uncomfortable. And then I explained to her later when we took a break, I said I just got imposter syndrome so bad because it was just like you had this whole buildup, and I don't think in my head, I started going inside of my head like, oh, I'm not good enough. My photos, they're okay. My videos not all there, I don't have it all together, And I explained that to her. She was like, oh, okay. Okay.
See,
So.
when we first started, before you came in, I spoke briefly about that. I spoke briefly about how, and I didn't use the term imposter syndrome, but how all the things that we want to do, but is, and I use the analogy of you praying to God, the creator of all things, right? And so things start coming into motion. And while in motion, then all of a sudden you go, well, I don't know if I really want to do that. Or I'm not, like you say, I'm not good enough, and then you go, okay, I changed my mind. Well, as soon as you say, I don't know if, or I am not, or, this whole other thing, like a deer in headlights, what happens is, I said, in the realm that we don't see, it literally stops the angels from moving, right?
Yeah.
And so then it puts everything on hold because out of the mouth, we can decree and declare a thing and it shall be established. So whatever we say, like I say, I'm horrible at social media and I need to stop doing it because literally I am exactly what I have spoken over myself. So the angels stop. And then we change our mind, it starts to process back over again. They start moving around and putting things in order and all that stuff. And you get into the right place. And then we go stop again. So this is where all the delay is. And so it's a subconscious thing. We don't really know that we are doing it. Like we are the power of everything that we have. We are fully equipped with everything. With everything. When we were born, we were equipped spiritually, we were equipped emotionally, we were equipped mentally, of everything that we are supposed to do. And along the way, life happens. And I think too, with this pandemic, it threw a curveball with all of us across the entire world. And then it made us really start really dealing with stuff. Like I went through a whole purging process as well, with my own identity that had nothing that was related to your business. Because actually too, if you say, well, I don't have the money, you're not going to get it. Even if you think you don't have the money, you have to trick your subconscious.
Yeah.
You got to literally do like this mental gymnastics. And it's so hard to break yourself from this habit because we started telling ourselves these stories at a younger age, and then we start telling these stories about ourselves as Black women in our interpersonal relationships with other Black women. And then we start telling ourselves these stories with the opposite sex of opposite of us when it comes to trying to be in intimate relationships. And believe it or not, it flows into our business because our business is us. I was speaking to one of my very good friends, Apostle Ely, and he was like, your business is you. It is you. So if there's something that is not aligning within your business, You have to look inside yourself. And I really didn't get it. So when you talk about that imposter syndrome, because, we know we bad to the bone. We know
Yeah.
that we're creative. You see what I'm saying? And I always pronounce your name wrong anyway. Girl, I have
Miss Ryan.
I've been calling you Roy since 2010. But the thing is that, going, forward, I think during this time when we're going into, we got a couple of more weeks left before we go into the new year of 2022. And that 2022, those triple twos mean something. There's something prolific about the triple number two. We thought, and we're still, because we got 2021, so we got the triple twos again. You know what I'm saying? So we're going back into triple twos, but this time I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think this was, people's like, I'm woke, whatever. I think we need to awaken ourselves,
Yeah.
we need to awaken ourselves up and really look in here, because really, how successful do you really want to be? And
Right.
even if you can't, like, I was talking to a teen and I told her, like, I did the Sexy Hot Red Affair black tie event here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I launched out in the deep, honey. I just said, you know what? I'm gonna use a whole 20 grand and I'm gonna do this because this is me. This is my brand, and everything I do is lush and whatever. But I did it, and I was doing it like this when I should have just did it and just been free. Like, I know that this was gonna go, because I also know too that my energy produces results.
Yeah.
As well. You see what I'm saying? How do you go for paying all this radio and all this stuff? And then, I'm not saying we had a beautiful event. But it could have been a greater outcome. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it could have been a greater outcome. And I think too, my energy on how I felt about it, because I had trepidation. Then I had this thing, well, nobody don't know me here. I want to go. I should just did this in Houston. Everybody knows me there. Or I could have did it in New York because everybody, but nobody knows me here. You see what I'm saying? So that whole not really relying on what I give is good. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I give is good. My advice is good. My product is good. Everything I put together, because guess what? It comes from the divine. It is downloaded, right? So how could it not be good? But we have that imposter syndrome, like you say, that we clam up and we just think that we're not good enough. And Coach Lakai would say that, well, how do I compare with other people? Your stuff is the bomb. You don't need to compare. Just do you, and have that whole presentation of what you want to give, how you created it when you was created. That's the same energy that we need to use when we put it out there.
Absolutely.
Right? So what are you trying to do? No, what are you going to be doing from this day forward for 2022? What are you doing? What are you looking to make some adjustments, to make some changes in, and not just because the business is going to be, you got a business, it's registered, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But what are you going to do to empower your business?
So a lot of things have changed, like literally in 2 weeks, for the greatness. So like now I'm sitting like I have no excuses. At first I was like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the money. I got the time and the money to do what it is I need to do, which is create. So that is my thing, is create. A lot of I see a lot of my circles and my mentors, they're having these like epiphanies. They're like having these splurges of creating. I want to create. And it's like, what I create, it's not going to look like what I've created before. And so to manage that and to put it on paper and then make it come to life, that's the steps that I'm taking, like right now, like literally at this moment, once I get done with like all this holiday stuff, is to actually start calling these people and be like, hey, I'm going to be in such and such. I need you to come here because I have an idea and I want it to go out. And it's like every single year, my quality, it becomes better. Like it's been 2 years. I've been that busy. It's been 2 years since I've updated my website. So all that stuff is like old. And so some of it is new, but for the most part, between the mid 2020 and now, like it's been just like going crazy. So now I took months off to actually calm down and to prepare, because I just felt like a lot of stuff I see, for instance, like you see most people when they do Christmas, they do like either just like a backdrop that's printed out, they order from Amazon or whatever, or they'll get like a Christmas tree. Like I want to build installations.
Welcome to my
You know what I'm saying?
listen.
Like that's where my head is at. You know?
Yes.
So yes.
Mhm.
So I made it I'm at a decisive point right now. Should I do installations once a month or every quarter? And depending on how big do I want them, because I already asked it's called Dropping a Bucket Productions. They're located on the north side of Houston. If I can use the space to create, and they said yes. And so now I'm just trying to decide now, should I do it once a month or every quarter? Because this year I want it to be more like it was in the beginning of 2019. 2019, I took literally almost maybe 3 months all in order to just travel and to like really start purging, and then like kind of take everything in around me and just kind of document it, and then like take that what I saw and then create, you know what I'm saying? So that's where my head is now. So I'm trying to figure out, I know for sure I'm coming to Atlanta.
You come through.
Yeah, so I'm coming to Atlanta probably, I think, want to say in 2 weeks, because I do have a shoot in Orlando on the 26th.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And also getting in front of the camera. A lot of people ask me so many questions. One thing I always wanted to be was a life coach. So to have a platform on YouTube, I already signed up and everything for this YouTube content creator. He has open spaces for his classes, and so I already signed up for that, and I'm just like really in the mode of, okay, I have no excuse, I have to create now. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
See, you just helped me out. Now, the place, my place, I have a beautiful place. Atia love my place. When she come over, she be like, "Yo, place, you need to," and I literally can do installations, and my place is big enough for me
Wow,
to do.
that's amazing.
I thought about it, and here we go. This imposter syndrome. Well,
Yep.
Mr. Ely, you know what I'm saying? It's the fact of just trying, that whole thing. Well, if I do this, whatever, like I can literally transform. I can probably do 10, 20 different, 50 different installations in my own house.
Wow.
It's just a matter of me moving stuff around. And then, I have someone who, because I have yet to put up my tree and all that stuff. And I said, I'm going to do this thing, whatever. She said, don't do it without you recording it, because I do stuff and I don't record. I've always had a bad habit of that. I don't record myself while I'm setting up this, this stuff. Like I thought about doing a dinner party, and I had a whole layout. I was going to literally transform my entire living dining area into like a venue. So when you come in, you absolutely coming in to an experience. You're coming in to celebrate, right? You come in, I don't want it to look like you walked into my house. Come on, I done did this for how many people? I done transform houses and garages and all kinds of different things. And even though I may not have the clients, but then that's something because I have no new work. You know what I'm saying? There's no new work that has been on my Instagram for like 2 freaking years. That is not good. So like
Yeah.
when Mona Lisa was saying, you know, I haven't been posting it, I was getting punched in the face, like for real. Like I was feeling that fist, like you haven't done anything. And it's not like I don't have the tools. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't have, like, if I have to buy a little bit more product, I could buy a little bit more product. I could go to Houston, go into my storage. I could bring some of that stuff back here. And I got a storage full of stuff. There's no reason why I shouldn't not have had more content on my page. And I
Right.
thought about it and then I pushed it back, like you said. And subconsciously, I kept thinking, well, you know, and then another excuse I use too, the pandemic. It's the pandemic and who's going to, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing myself a disservice. You see what I'm saying? During these last 6 months that we've been open, I've done well, I'm not gonna be too hard because we did do an event, but yet and still, when it comes to, like you said, my installations, me creating things that people have not seen before, and I be thinking up this stuff, you know what I'm saying, and haven't done it. I have not done it. You helped me out today. You helped me. So yes, honey, you helped me out today. So I've been getting beat up all day, you know, during this time with the money situation, saying that you don't
Yeah.
have the money,
Mhm.
because maybe you don't have the money to do all of it at one time, but I would say do a little bit at one time. If it's
Yep.
if it's, you know, maybe do $50 worth and try to turn that $50 to 75 or
Yep.
60. You see what I'm saying? Do a little bit at a time. I think sometimes we, you know, because we have the big vision, we have the end goal, right? So
Right.
you got, okay, this is where I want to be, but we are not. And I'm saying all of us that are creators, because everybody on here is a creator.
Mhm.
We do not take we are not grateful for the in between time. We just feel like we just need to hurry up and get to the end, and we don't want to go through that in between time. So if it's $10, $20, $30, whatever it is, the small, you know, do not despise small beginnings because they become great exploits, right? So even if it's just a little bit, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Then do
Right.
it. And not make any more excuses. So Atia Bad. So what is your goal for 2022? What are you looking, you know, what are you looking to do for 2022?
Well, as you know, I am a Jane of all trades. So
Yes.
I was learning this summer how to incorporate everything that I do into, like, you know, one thing. So for 2022, since I do my t-shirts, I do my own music, I do my series, I'm gonna just put that all together. I'm gonna work on my marketing different this year. So well, 2022. So I'm gonna work on, anytime you see me modeling a shirt, you're gonna hear my music in the background playing. Anytime you see a series that I put out, you're gonna see my melanated style line in there. So I'm just working on making sure that I'm pushing all of me in, you know, in what I'm doing.
Okay. And I know you just said that you have to go. We love you very much. Thank you for
Thank
joining
y'all,
Tia.
ladies. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
I
And
also have to
please,
go.
I'm gonna drop
Oh,
my link. I follow everybody so I can, you know, network with everybody.
okay. And you said, Mona Lisa, you're on your way out as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you give us one more thing that you're going to what are you looking to do for 2022 before you leave?
Um, I think that I plan to just work harder in marketing and pushing both of these businesses. I'm going to try my best not to venture off into anything else. I think I tend to, when things tend to slow down with one idea, I tend to start working on other projects. So I'm going to try my best to stop doing that. I think it really just will depend on my finances, because I feel like when things aren't going as fast as I want as far as money is concerned and profits in businesses, then I start to push something else just so that I don't feel like I have all my eggs in one basket. But I want to try to stop just starting so many projects. I have I have 4 websites I've already began working on. One of them is my daughter's plush and stuff line that she's pushing. So I started working on that for her. I might start putting a little bit more energy into that for her for 2022. But for myself, I think I'm going to stay put.
Okay. Okay. Good enough. Okay. Well, it was great. Thank you for joining us today, Mona Lisa. I really appreciate it. I will definitely send you the ebook, and have a good night. Coach Lakaya, you are next, and I know that you got to get off as well.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Coach Lakaya.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So what is going to be your 2022 goal for next year?
My 2022 goal is to get my business to where I have 200 subscribers, work on how to create a luxury line, and continue to learn how to sell. Like, I feel like that's what I need to really focus on, how to sell.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. We definitely gonna talk, because I don't know if I'm a seller either. I'm not a seller. I just present and just, I'm like, throw the cars in the water, and if some of them float, that's the ones that we go that's the ones that we gonna read. That's just how it is. But maybe I could I think like with Miss Riot has said was, she's signing up with different she signed up. So maybe you might want to do a selling class on how to sell, how to do product sale, and then connect to with some other, you had Mona Lisa, and she didn't leave her link in for her email, but then that's something that, I'll ask, and maybe you guys can talk and share ideas, you know what I'm saying? So you're just not out here and you're trying to guess, especially too, certain things cost a lot. This is why I do the coaching sessions 101 each week, for free, because people don't have money like that to be paying for $500 or $1,000. Some people don't have that. But if you can use your network, your networking can help with your net worth as far as you getting more, obtaining more money. I would do that, but let's see what we can do. And let's see if we can bring somebody in to help. Maybe I could connect you with somebody that can help you with your sales.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And you can stay, you go, because I want to. So I know what you're decided you're going to do, Miss Riot, for 2022. For me, what I'm going to be doing for 2022 is really not being afraid. I think fear is fear prevents you from being within your purpose, and not being afraid of the gifts and things that I have. And really, I need help. You know what I'm saying? I need staff and all that stuff. And you know how I've been, when when you having like that staff kind of situation, when you hire people who say they know how to do things, and you're paying people to do things and they don't do it.
Oh man.
So that kind of left me a little bit jaded, to the point where I say I'm only hiring certain people that's from this particular area because I know that they're hustlers. You know what I'm saying? That particular thing, I think I'm gonna move out of the I know that I'm going to move out of the fear factor, that I don't have any choice. And I have to make some other decisions in regard to my businesses and the directions that I want to go, and really stay with it. I think marketing, like Lakai was saying, is like a big thing for me as well. So
it is,
for me, is to hire somebody. That is not my area of expertise. I can create businesses. You see what I'm saying? I could create businesses. I could get everybody, but that marketing thing, That is
Yeah.
just that's not my forte. And then there's people who, people be taking advantage because everybody want to get paid. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I get it.
Absolutely.
But if my stuff is not blowing up and you say that you are expert, we got a problem.
Yeah, we got a problem.
You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We have a problem. So, finishing, just finishing the projects because I have projects that are unfinished that I need to get done. Because I've been so distracted with, once we open, it was like, oh my God, we're open.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then it's like do, and having so many
Mhm.
different missteps, and then we not do we not doing that in 2022.
No, 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 no,
We're
no.
not doing that.
Mm-mm.
Because this is gonna be like my last push. Because eventually I just, I love consulting. This is what I love to do. And I love
Okay.
getting with a group of, women and men specifically. I had a couple of men that I did do consulting. They were not available
Okay.
today. But I love doing it. I love talking about businesses, but I'm also very creative, and
Yeah.
I'm
To have that outlet. Yeah.
yeah, and then also too, not selling because girl, I settle for a lot of girl, these people I can't even when it come out of my mouth or how I settle on my price point on how much it costs to hire me. Everybody know I've been expensive since the day is long.
What's new? Yeah. What makes you think something else is new? Like
I feel like I've been tricked out. Can't tell no lies. I feel like I have been tricked out because
man.
you want to sustain your business, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you negotiate prices. I feel like a hoe. I could, and not even an expensive one. Like I don't like that $10,000 a night kind. No, I got like
Like we look,
$200.
like we say, because I used to, I went to college in Miami. Like they say, the hoes on 27th and Biscayne.
Girl,
I mean,
listen.
79th and Biscayne. There you go, 79th and
79,
Biscayne.
girl, because literally, you like, okay, for me to
Oh
walk in the
man, I
door
get it,
for a small event is $4,500 just for me
and
to
that's
walk in
good.
the door,
Yeah.
right? Just to walk in the door. That's just for me to walk in. Now, when it comes to my creative processing, when it comes to the planning, then that is more. That is not included with the materials. Man, people, listen, I've
Right,
been tricked. Listen, I've been tricked out. These last couple
man.
of people that and I'm just like all of this work, like they really don't understand the
They
level
don't.
of they don't understand the level of work that you have to do. And everything I'm gonna do is gonna be beautiful because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be extra. So that means if you paying me $3,000, your stuff gonna look like you done paid 10 grand.
Hmm.
Because it's my brand, my name is on it. And
There we
so I
go.
think there's something that I'm going to have to really negotiate for 2022.
Right.
Like I can't, you know, it's just like you're just not my client. And then I have
Yep.
to say too is, well, how much are they charging here? Because when I'm looking on these Instagrams, these weddings look like they was $125,000 wedding. So how are these? And you want this to look like this? That means you got to pay $125,000.
Listen,
You see what I'm saying? That means
that was literally one of the main topics at that at that wedding convention. That was literally one of the main topics was people want this and they have this budget. And it's like, how are we gonna mesh? And you have to come to that conclusion of like, you are not my client.
And
You're
then
just
you
not
come
my
to me,
client.
and I don't know, I must look like that I feel sorry for people because it'd be like, nobody will take me. And you doing a destination wedding. So this is one of the weddings that I
Lord.
just negotiated. I'm so mad at myself.
Oh,
But
God.
we gotta pay bills. And
Right.
so if I'm doing a destination off the top, I'm coming in, you gotta pay me 10 grand. If I gotta get a flight,
Yeah.
I gotta bring staff
Yeah.
member, we got a hotel,
Understandable.
and I'm coming in a week before that's just for me to come. That has
Understandable.
nothing
Yes.
to do with all the other stuff that I have to do. That has nothing to do with the decor, because even the
Right.
decor, I've done decor starting at night and we're into the next morning getting
Right.
stuff ready or coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm there
Absolutely.
all day with my staff all day. So this particular bride, she wants she's it's a culture wedding, right? So she
Okay.
wants a wedding. She has to have a cultural piece to the ceremony. There's a cultural ceremony before the wedding. Then you have the wedding and then the reception. But then you
Okay.
go say, I don't want that much done on the outside. But who are you talking to? Because if you talking about you don't want that much done on the outside, what it's gonna look like in my name on there? I wouldn't even tell people I did that wedding. Do you know I've done certain events where people didn't have the resources and I did not put my name on it because it did not have my brand.
Right. Right.
You see
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm a brand. Outside is a brand, okay? And when you go on our Instagram, you look and you see the work that we have done in the past, right? So, and I'm like, okay. So she said, well, can you do the ceremony and do the decor for the wedding and for the reception? And can I get all of that for 10,000? That means including the materials for 10,000. I kid you not. I had another one that didn't even want to pay me 4,500. Well, can we get it for 3,000? But you want the full plan service, like me making appointments, setting appointments for you, showing up. I can share with you a couple of appointments. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the in the midst of the pandemic. This is like once we open, these are the type of clients that I've been getting.
Oh my God. Like, I get it though. I get it. Cause like on every level, this is what's happening. So in every industry, I want to say, every industry.
Yeah. So I don't feel bad if it's not every industry. So what you do, you take it, you like, okay, well, can you bring me 3 more clients? Because you're trying to rebuild, because everybody kind of like leveled off, you know what I'm saying? So everybody is still in this rebuilding phase, you know, and then that whole thing of the word of mouth kind of thing. So you kind of, if you already have your standard clients, but when you're like me, I'm international, I'm all over the place. There's it's, you know, so you just have to make some different, you know, I have to make some different choices actually. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So next year, no, this is for me to do bridal showers stuff. I start at 4,500 just coming in. That does not include the materials or my sweat equity. That is my fee for me to come in and do, you know, to do everything, but the materials are not included. You know, if you want custom, you know, you're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But it was so good to see you, girl. I'm telling you, that was by accident for real, but I'm so, it wasn't. You were supposed to be here. I'm so excited. So we're gonna end this. We're definitely gonna stay connected. Please stay connected with me. I'm gonna stay connected. I'm trying to get my people back together. It's so good to see you, because some people you kind of like, you know, with the pandemic, you don't know who's alive, who isn't alive, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to offer my services again out here. I'm Christina L Turner, Kingmaker. And if you want any consulting services for free for 1 hour, I do it on Tuesdays, 101, right here on Zoom. And then we can go from there. You go info@ChristinaLTurner.com. You go to my website, www.ChristinaLTurner.com. Tax season is coming. So if you're going to need a tax preparer, or you know someone who else needs a tax preparer, and you need someone that's good, that's not just seasonal, we also have other business services. You want to go to
Okay. Yeah, I do taxes. Okay.
www.cturnertaxservices.com. So we do business plans,
Man.
we do nonprofit structures, we just go on the website, you'll see all that information. But I truly appreciate you hanging out with us this long, and have
Thank
a wonderful
you. You
holiday
too.
and a
Thank
happy new year.
you.
And I'll
Happy
see
New
everybody
Year.
in January.
Yes.
God bless.